Brooke Shields is an American actress and model who has seen immense success in the industry in the decades since her debut as a child actress in the controversial film Pretty Baby. Despite the successful career that resulted from Brooke's performance, the controversy surrounding it was emblematic of a darker undercurrent to the woman's success story that has haunted the actress to this day. Join Facts First as we explore how Brooke Shields' life has been utterly tragic. Brooke Shields was born with modeling in her genetic makeup. Her mother was a model and her father was an executive for the Revlon cosmetic company. Brooke Shields got her start as an entertainer when she was just a year old, appearing in an advertisement for Ivory soap. That same year, her parents got divorced. Her mother became the presiding force over her life throughout the remainder of her childhood and into her early adult years. When Brooke was a toddler, she began practicing piano and ballet. She also took horseback riding lessons, all while continuing her career as a young model at the behest of her mother. Although young Brooke's life may have looked idyllic from the outside, she was rarely happy. Her mother was an imposing and controlling figure, and Brooke didn't always like the things her mother asked her to do. If it had been up to Brooke, she would have likely rather have been living a normal childhood instead of working as a young model and actress. Since becoming a parent herself, Brooke has given her children the childhood she wished she had, keeping them out of the spotlight. Whether it was because modeling was all she knew or because she was trying to live vicariously through her daughter, Brooke's mother shoved her daughter into the entertainment industry, seemingly against her will. Brooke's mother's name was Terry, and she positioned herself as her daughter's manager, profiting off of her successes. While Brooke's career had started innocently as an infant in the ad for Ivory soap, it soon became more problematic. Other parents might have been a bit more cautious about what they allowed their kids to do, but Terry seemed to have some decidedly progressive ideas about what she was willing to see her daughter put through in the entertainment industry. This all started when Terry allowed Brooke to be cast in the film Pretty Baby at the age of 11. In the film, Brooke was tasked with playing a child prostitute. Not only did the film feature adult subject matter, but it also featured Brooke performing in some problematic scenes that became quite controversial. Pretty Baby was met with a great deal of controversy upon its release, but it was also a critical darling. There were many who looked past the controversy and appreciated what the film was trying to say. And critics were also keen to point out the talent and maturity that young Brooke displayed in her performance. In the years since the film's release, it has only become more polarizing. However, it's still notable for the fact that it launched Brooke into stardom at the age of only 11, for better and for worse. Much of the controversy surrounding Pretty Baby was based around the fact that it appeared as if 11-year-old Brooke was growing up too fast. If this had been relegated to just the one instance of Brooke performing in the film, the controversy may have ended there. However, Brooke's performance in Pretty Baby was just the first instance of her mother allowing her to do things perhaps not appropriate. For one thing, she was seen publicly with fellow child star Scott Baio. Many speculated that Brooke and Scott were involved in an adult relationship, and the speculation later turned out to be true. Of course, Scott was known for portraying Chachi on Happy Days, and Brooke later went on to a successful TV career of her own. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, be sure to give it a like, and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. And stick around for a lot more about Brooke Shields. Having a career laced with numerous controversies under her belt by the time she was a teen, Brooke received her most massive exposure ever in 1978. That year, she was hired personally by Calvin Klein to model for his new line of pants. Brooke was just 16 years old, and the ad campaign was decidedly adult. It also utilized Brooke in a way that many found problematic given the young star's age, though it was still incredibly popular. Multiple television networks banned the Calvin Klein ad campaign featuring Brooke, but it still managed to bring her to more eyes than ever. From there, Brooke carried on her controversial career by appearing in the R-rated romance The Blue Lagoon. The film utilized body doubles to allow the teenage actress to appear in scenes that could typically only be filmed by adult actresses. Some of the scenes were so explicit that Brooke had to testify before Congress that body doubles had in fact been used during filming. While Pretty Baby had exploited Brooke for the purposes of drama, The Blue Lagoon made few qualms about the fact that it was exploiting the underage teenage actress for her looks. The film was incredibly popular, largely with teens, but was just as controversial as her childhood film debut had been. Soon after the release of The Blue Lagoon, Brooke became of age. Many wondered how she was going to live up to her controversial hype now that she was an adult, and she did so by posing in Playboy. Brooke retained a successful career into her adult years and gradually began to take control of her image back from both her mother and the public. While Brooke had risen to fame via controversial and exploitative roles that had been essentially forced on her as a child, Her adult years have seen her taking on more modest gigs, and she eventually ended up firing her mother from her managerial duties, but not before her mother had acted in the position for 3 decades. Brooke's mother remained a conflicting and controlling presence in Brooke's life until her death, although Brooke was still saddened to see her go. In the time since her controversial career as a child actress and model, one of Brooke's most memorable roles has been on the sitcom Suddenly Susan. The show offered Brooke a chance to reinvent herself somewhat in her adult years, becoming a comedic leading lady who didn't have to do anything too risque to get the approval of audiences. Brooke has also acted on Broadway in her adult years, having appeared in productions of Grease and Chicago. Brooke has been involved romantically with numerous figures over the course of her life, but perhaps none of her romances have been as interesting as the one she shared with Michael Jackson. Michael was apparently a huge fan, and a romance sparked up between the two when Brooke approached him at the Academy Awards. Brooke apparently never considered Michael a serious mate, though Michael was never wise to this. Michael asked Brooke to marry him numerous times, even suggesting the two adopt a child together. Many have since wondered whether or not Brooke was leading the pop icon on for a nefarious purpose. Brooke ended up breaking contact with Michael, though she was publicly shaken by the idol's death. Brooke has also been romantically linked to Liam Neeson and Michael Bolton, but the men she has chosen to settle down with in her life haven't been major celebrities. Her first husband was tennis player Andre Agassi. Although he was a world star in tennis, he was not an A-list Hollywood actor. The two married in 1997, though the marriage didn't last through the decade. After divorcing from Andre, Brooke went on to meet the man she's still married to. Brooke and film producer Chris Henchy became married after less than a year of dating. By the time she settled down happily with Chris, it seemed like all her troubles were behind her. However, she suffered a severe bout of postpartum depression after giving birth to her first daughter. Thankfully, she was able to recover and has since had another daughter. Brooke has given both of her daughters a life of innocence, unlike the one she was afforded. Her insistence on keeping her children out of the spotlight has come both from her controversial career as a child actress, as well as the fact that she had been a stalking victim. A man named John Rinaldi stalked Brooke for decades before being convicted in 2016. Brooke has overcome her past struggles and continues to work, though she's seen a recent setback in the form of a freak injury that left her unable to walk for a period of time. She's been adamantly working on the road to rehabilitation and has since launched a lifestyle brand that will give her something to do in the meantime. Now it's time to hear from you. Comment down below to share if you think Brooke still got some starring roles left in her. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.